Stormy heart struggled with stormy heart. At the material threshold they wrestled, bulls contending. The doorposts shook and shattered, the wrestling staggered. Wild bulls locked horns and staggered, wrestling through the city streets, the city walls and lintels, shuddered and swayed. Gilgamesh, the strongest of all, the terror, wrestled the wild man Enkidu to his knees, and in the rage of Gilgamesh subsided.
You are the strongest of all, the perfect, the terror.
Then Enkidu and Gilgamesh embraced and kissed and took each other by the hand. And so it was that Enkidu fell sick.
Why am I left to live while my brother dies? Why should he die and I be spared to live?
Must I now go sit among the dead, in the company of the dead without my brother? May the name of the companion be forgotten. I had a dream. I was led to the dwelling of Urkala, the house of no return. No one comes back who ever enters there. The garments that they wear are made of feathers. The food they eat is clay. The drink is dirt. Dead kings were there and princes of old kingdoms.
After that, Gilgamesh heard the death rattle.
It is Enkidu, the companion, whom I weep for, weeping for him as if I were a
Wandered
woman.
in the wilderness, grieving over the death of Enkidu.
Enkidu has died. Must I die too?
Gilgamesh felt the fear of it in his belly. He said to himself that he would seek the son of Ubartartu, Utnapishtim, he, the only one of men by means of whom he might find out how death could be avoided. At night in the mountain passes there were lions, and Gilgamesh was afraid. An adversary gloried over him in struggle, and in the dream who knows who won. Gilgamesh came to the mountain called Mashu, whose great twin heads look one way and the other. Twin dragon-scorpion beings, whose look is death, are the guardians of the entrance into the mountain.
Who dares come here must be a god.
2/3 a god, the third part is mortal.
Terror in the body of Gilgamesh seized hold of him from within and held him there in terror.
Who is it that dares come here? Why have you journeyed through fearful wilderness, making your way through dangers to come to this mountain no mortal has ever come to?
I come to seek the Father Utnapishtim, who was granted eternal life. I come to seek the answer to the question that I must ask concerning life or death.
This is the path of the sun's journey by night. It is 12 leagues of darkness through utter lightlessness. The gate to the entrance into the mountain is open. May Gilgamesh in safety make the journey.
After the scorpion dragon being spoke, Gilgamesh went into the entrance into the mountain. At the end of the 8th league, he cried aloud and tried to cry out something against the pressure of blackness.
2 people who are companions say,
There was nothing behind or before him in the darkness. He emerged from the mountain into a wonderful garden, and beyond the garden Gilgamesh saw the sea. Veiled Siduri, a tavern keeper, keeps a tavern on the shore of the glittering sea.
Who is this man? Who is it, hairy body, wearing the skin of a beast, coming toward my tavern alongside the shore, looking like one who has undergone a journey, his face bitten by hunger or by sorrow?
It is Gilgamesh who killed the demon guardian Humala, the guardian of the cedar forest. It is I who wrestled the bull of heaven and killed him. My fame will be secure to all my sons.
If you are Gilgamesh who did all those things, why do you look like one who has undergone a terrible journey? Why do you look like one who grieves?
I look like one who has undergone a journey because I grieve for the death of Enkidu, the companion, whom I loved, who went together with me on a journey. 7 days and 7 nights I sat beside the body, weeping for Enkidu, and then I saw a worm fall out of his nose. Must I die too? I roam the wilderness because of this fear.
Only the gods can live forever. Eat and drink the fill of food and the drink that food men eat and drink. Let there be pleasure and dancing.
Tell me the way to find the man who, what means of whom I can find how death can be avoided.
Urshanabi, the boatman, dwells out there on an island, but there somewhere in the waters, let Urshanabi look at the face of Gilgamesh. Perhaps he will take you with him across the waters of death. If not, then Gilgamesh must abandon the crossing. Your face is bitten by hunger or by sorrow. Why do you look like one who has undergone a terrible journey? Why do you look like one who grieves?
Because I grieve for the death of Enkidu, the companion.
With your own hands you have made the crossing harder. You broke the talismans, you broke the stone things, you took the Ernie shakes, which is forbidden. Go back to the forest, cut 60 poles, and then cut 60 more. When you have finished, bring back the poles.
Then Gilgamesh stripped himself as a sail. He held up the animal skin he had been wearing, and so the little boat sailed on the water. The man standing on the faraway shore gazed at a little boat approaching.
The stone things have been broken, and there is one other than Urshanabi in the boat. I gaze and gaze across the water of death, but I cannot tell who sails in the
Face
boat.
is bitten by hunger or by sorrow. Why do you look like the one who has undergone a terrible journey? Why do you look like the one who grieves?
I look like the one whose grief's in his heart because of the death of Enkidu, the companion. Must I die too?
I will tell Gilgamesh the king this story, a secret of the gods. I will disclose. Son of Urbatutu, abandon your house and build a boat instead and save yourself. Take with you on the boat you build an instance of each thing living so that you may be safe from obligation in the flood. Day after day I labored building the boat. There were 6 decks. The cabin was divided into 9 compartments. On the 7th day I finished building the boat. Tell me who would bring all the gods together so that for you they might in council decide what your deserving is that you would be granted admitting into the company of gods. Let there be now a test of Gilgamesh. Let him but keep himself awake for 6 nights and 7 days to show his worth.
So Gilgamesh sat down to begin the test. Almost as soon as Gilgamesh the king sat down to test himself, a mist of sleep, as ocean mist comes over the shore from the waters, came over his eyes, and so the strongest slept.
See how for this hero sleeps who asked for life. Man is deceitful, therefore he will deceive us every day. As he lies sleeping, you must bake a wafer near him.
She baked a wafer every day of bread, for every day that Gilgamesh lay sleeping. The first wafer was dry as dust, the second only less than the first, the third was soggy and rotten, the fourth was white in the crust, there were spots of mold on the fifth, the 6th looked almost fresh, and the 7th Gilgamesh started and woke up.
I was asleep when you reached out and touched me and kept me awake.
Look at the wafers and look at the marks on the wall. A mark and a wafer for every day you have slept.
What shall I do? Who takes us away is taking hold of me. Death is in my chamber when I sleep, and death is there wherever I sit.
The secret of the gods I will disclose. There is a plant that grows under the waters, thorny to seize. How the old man once again became a young man is the name of the plant that grows under the waters. Descend into the waters and seize the plant.
So Gilgamesh tied heavy stone weights to his feet to bring him down through the waters of the abyss to the place where he could find the magic plant. He seized the thorny plant that cut his hands. He cut the stone weights loose from his heavy feet, and the waters cast him up upon the shore.
Carry the thorny plant back to my city, and I will take my share of the magic plant, once more to become one who is youngest and strongest.
At 20 leagues they stopped only to eat. At 30 leagues they stopped to rest for the night. Gilgamesh found a spring, a pool of pure water. He entered the water to refresh himself. In the reeds nearby, a serpent of the place became aware of the fragrance of the plant, and stole away with it among the reeds. As it disappeared, the serpent shed its skin. When Gilgamesh found out what the serpent had done, he sat down, weeping by the pool of water.
What shall I do? The journey has gone for nothing. For whom has my heart's blood been spent? For the serpent who has taken away the plant. I descended into the waters to find the plant. And what have I found as a sign telling me to abandon the journey and what it was I sought for?
At 20 leagues they stopped only to eat. At 30 leagues they stopped to rest for the night, and so they traveled until they reached Uruk.